Hi, boys and girls. I'm back for the third part of Summertime, the chapter out of Little House in the Big Woods for kindergartners. Um, this is exciting. We're going to find out why Pa rushed home, got the wagon, filled up the wagon cart with all kinds of tubs and jars and pails and buckets. Let's see what Pa had found. I'll go on and read. Got my glasses on, and here we go. Oh, what is it? What is it? What is it? Laura asked, jumping up and down with excitement. Pa's found a beehive, Ma said. Maybe he'll bring us some honey. It was noon before Pa came driving home. Laura had been watching for him, and she ran out to the wagon as soon as it stopped by the barnyard, but she could not see into it. Pa called, Caroline, if you'll come take this pail of honey, I'll go unhitch. Ma came out to the wagon disappointed. She said, Well, Charles, even a pail of honey is something. Then she looked into the wagon and threw her hands up. Pa laughed. All the pails and buckets were heaping full of dripping golden honeycomb. Both tubs were piled full, and so was the wash boiler. Pa and Ma went back and forth carrying the two loaded tubs and the wash boiler and all the buckets and pails into the house. Ma heaped a plate high with golden pieces and covered all the rest neatly with cloths. For dinner, they all had as much of the delicious honey as they could eat, and Pa told them how he found the bee tree. I didn't take my gun, he said, because I wasn't hunting. And now it's summer, there wasn't much danger of meeting any trouble at all. Oh, hi, Leo. Hi, Freddie and Frida. Sorry, I forgot to tell you they're back there. Panthers and bears are so fat this time of year that they're lazy and good natured. Well, I took a shortcut through the woods and I nearly ran into a big bear. I came around a clump of the underbrush, and there he was, not as far from me as across this room. He looked around at me, and I guess he saw I didn't have a gun. Anyway, he didn't pay any more attention to me. He was standing at the foot of the big tree, and bees were buzzing all around him. They couldn't sting through his thick fur, and he kept brushing them away from his head with one paw, like that, getting rid of the bees. I stood there watching him, and he put the other paw into a hole in the tree, drew it out all dripping with honey, and he licked the honey off his paw and reached in for some more. But by that time, I had found me a club. I wanted that honey myself. Now let's see a picture of the bear reaching right in to the tree. Oh, that looks yummy, but with some danger with all those bees around. Let's see what Pa does. So I made a great racket, banging the club against a tree and yelling. The bear was so fat and so full of honey, he just dropped on all fours and waddled off among the trees. I chased him for some distance and got him going fast away from the bee tree, and then I came back for the wagon. Laura asked him how he got the honey away from the bees. And I think we've talked about that in class before when we were learning about apple trees and about how they pollinate and the bees and all of that. So let's see what he did. And let me find my place now. Oh, that was easy, Pa said. I left the horses back in the woods where they wouldn't get stung, and then I chopped the tree down and split it open. Didn't the bees sting you? No, said Pa. Bees never sting me. The whole tree was hollow and filled from top to bottom with honey. The bees must have been storing honey there for years. Some of it was old and dark, but I guess I got enough clean honey to last us a long time. Laura was sorry for the poor bees. She said they worked so hard, and now they won't have any honey. But Pa said there was lots of honey left for the bees, and there was another large hollow tree nearby into which they could move. He said it was time they had a clean new home. They would take the old honey he had left in the old tree, make it into fresh new honey, and store it in their new house. They would save every drop of the spilled honey and put it away, and they would have plenty of honey again long before winter came. Boys and girls, you remember when I talked about the bees that were between my house and our neighbors? And the beekeeper said there were about 1 million of them. Well, here's what he did. Remember how he lit a little fire in a little uh, thing he called a smoker? It was a container that would smoke the bees and get them drowsy. They were all on one branch with the queen bee in the middle, and he had a box underneath the branch. He sawed the branch off and he shook it as fast as he could into his bee box, and then he took it away to the farm so it wouldn't be in a neighborhood, but in a farm that needed the bees to help with pollination for fruits and vegetables and the trees that grew nearby. So Pa probably used some smoke, um, but didn't go into that detail in Laura's story. Depends on what Laura remembered from the time that she was 5. And to end this one, I will be reading the picture book next of Summertime, so you have some frame of reference with pictures. But please remember to write down this time at home. It's kind of like Laura and Mary being at home with their ma and pa and Grace and their bulldog Jack. They didn't see many people during the year. They pretty much stayed at their house all year. And then in summertime, they got out to see relatives. So take some comfort in that during this time where we have to stay at our homes and stay well. And the next video will be of the picture book of Summertime. So look for me in the next one. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.